Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. So this first recipe is going to be an instant pot lasagna recipe. Yes, you can make a lasagna in an instant pot. So the first thing that you're going to take is an onion and slice that up. I just used a white onion, about half of it, and you just want to chop that up into small pieces. My pieces are really not that great, but at the end of the day, it's all going to combine together. So if it's not perfect, like mine here, it's all good. Then you want to heat up your Instant Pot at 30 minutes on the sear and saute setting, and then pour some oil in there. And then you're going to put your onions that you chopped up into the Instant Pot along with some garlic. You can use one and a half, or two. Mince those up pretty nice, and then throw them in there and have them get a little bit brown. And then you want to add your beef. You can use about 2 pounds of beef. I think this was about 1.5 to 2 pounds of ground beef. Then you can bring out your little gang of spices. This is the spices that I like to use: garlic, black pepper, paprika, salt, and cumin. And I don't really measure anything. I just throw it in there and season it up. So whatever type of seasoning that you like to add to your beef, mix it around, break it apart, and then as it cooks, let it cook a little bit longer on the sear and saute setting. Add in some oregano. I just had like this simple, I don't even know what brand this is, oregano. And then I'm going to add Prego sauce. I usually make my own sauce, but since I had this on hand, there was no point of making a sauce or buying anything new. Usually like those like big crushed tomato cans, and I'll add my own seasoning, but this works. And then I put a cup of water in there, and then I just add a little water into the jar so it kind of gets that excess sauce out of there, and poured that in too. Gave that a good stir, and it gives it this like nice watery consistency, so that when you put in your dry lasagna, which is great because you don't have to boil it or anything, you can put those pieces straight in there, just break them apart, and then pour an additional cup and a half of water on top, and then just make sure that your dry lasagna is fully submerged in there, so while it's cooking, it can get all cooked up and stuff. That doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. So it has enough moisture, and then you just want to literally set that on 5 minutes and start your Instant Pot, and then this is how it will turn out. It cooks so quickly, which is insane. And then after that, you want to open it after you release the pressure and put some mozzarella cheese on top, cover it again, and cook it for a few more minutes, and it will turn out amazing, as you guys will shortly see. So everyone has different types of Instant Pots. I have the Insignia brand. There's also like the official Instant Pot one that is super popular. This is just the brand that my mom gave me. So I just put it on a manual setting and put it for 2 minutes. It's easier to control that way. And then once you open it up, yep, there it is. So Instant Pot lasagna in 5 minutes, which is amazing. So there's my beautiful lasagna. So for the second recipe, we're gonna make honey garlic meatballs. This is a recipe that I found online, and I'll link it below so you guys can see more details there. And essentially, I chopped up some onions, which is always good with ground beef. You always need that extra flavoring in there. Onions literally works with pretty much every dish. Obviously, not desserts, but that'd be kind of weird. Would you put this? I don't know. Whatever. That's the point. Okay. Italian seasoning. I used a different one actually than the one I just showed. I just realized that, but whatever. Any kind of breadcrumbs would work in this to kind of give it a consistency that's easier to roll into meatballs. I preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and then I added half a cup of milk and then half a cup of breadcrumbs along with some seasoning. I didn't do too much seasoning on this because later on we're going to submerge the meatballs in a honey garlic sauce, which is like very flavored. So I just put salt and pepper and paprika. You can do more seasoning than that if you like, if you want it more spicy, whatever you want to do, it is up to you. And then I took a pan and I lined it with aluminum foil to make it a lot easier so it doesn't stick to it, and then just easier cleanup. And I didn't have a spray bottle, but this is a little trick that my husband used when he used to work in the restaurants, and we just put oil in a bottle so it's easier to kind of work with, and pour it all over there so the meatballs don't stick to the foil. And then I kind of hand mixed everything all together so all the flavors and seasonings are incorporated with the onions. And then I took the meat and rolled it into meatballs. And I mean, you can be really OCD with this and like measure it out perfectly. I'm not going to, I mean, I didn't do this. I just rolled it up and kind of just estimated the size, and they look, you know, pretty decent in size. So, whatever how big or small you want them, obviously you'd have to adjust the cooking temperature and time too. But I did put it in there for 400 degrees. Honestly, I don't even remember what timer I put it on. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I am putting the link below so you guys can see the full recipe that I use. I want to say it was about 10-15 minutes or so. And then while that's cooking in the oven, you want to take some garlic, and so I chopped that up really small. And then you'll need those ingredients, soy sauce, honey, and ketchup, to make your sauce. It's really simple, usually seasonings and sauces that most people would have in their kitchen. And then you want to take a tablespoon of butter and start melting that in your pan. Yes, I'm using a wok. I just like it so much. My mom got it for me. It just cooks things so nicely. As you can see, I'm using my hand. I don't know why. I must not be afraid. I usually burn my hand all the time. Maybe this is why. So I just put that butter in and then added the garlic, mixed that up with my wooden spoon, and then there is your sauce. It's not like very difficult, which is awesome. And then as you can see, it's simmering, it's getting a little bit thicker. Just watch it so it doesn't burn. And I decided to pair that with some rice. You can pair it with bread or just eat them straight with a fork or spoon or whatever. I think they suggested putting toothpicks in there and make it all fancy, but I'm not fancy. So there's the meatballs all done, and then I just added them into the sauce. And you can see it's so much thicker now. And if you don't like too much sauce, you can kind of like just measure out how much you want or throw them all in there and mix them around. But just a very quick and easy recipe, and it's just delicious. So there it is, and I made a little salad on the side, and then me and Valon had this for dinner. For the third and last recipe, this is another Instant Pot recipe. This is a chicken and veggie stew, and I just came up with this. It's pretty straightforward, and you can kind of adjust the flavoring as you can with the other recipes. So I took some sweet potatoes and chopped those up, and then took about, I think this is about 3 pounds or so, or 2.5 pounds of chicken, and it's like a large like chicken breast. We were kind of joking about what kind of mutant chicken is that the breast is that big, but who knows, growth hormones. And we cut that up, and I usually watch something or listen to music as I'm cooking, especially if I'm home alone. And I don't know why I said we. I just said, what? Nobody else was there. I don't think so. Okay, anyways. So I chopped that up and then threw it into the Instant Pot. And I just put this on saute, just like I did with the lasagna and the ground beef, and then had that cooking up. And then I added these seasonings. I thought it'd be nice. And everything with the elote seasoning is amazing. That's from Trader Joe's. It literally just tastes like the seasoning you use on elote. And then I threw that on top of the chicken in there. As you can see, it's cooking very nicely. And I don't know, the Instant Pot works really well for chicken and beef, so you could technically use any type of meat. That's just what I wanted to use, and mix that up with a wooden spoon so you don't scratch your Instant Pot. And I let that cook up until it's almost cooked all the way through, or pretty much cooked all the way through. And it will cook a little bit more as you have it sealed up, but yeah, I just left it like that. Then I added the sweet potatoes on top of that, added a little bit more seasoning, and then stirred that up nicely. Then I added in my onions that I chopped up and then stirred that through as well. And then next I put in the mushrooms. I just kind of roughly chopped them up. You can kind of use whatever vegetables that you want, but I decided to use sweet potatoes and mushrooms. That's kind of what I had in my fridge, and this is a great way to use up vegetables that you just have sitting in there and you don't want them to go bad. And then I added about a cup and a half of water in there, as you can see, and then pushed that in there, and then I sealed it up and put it on the stew setting in about 15 minutes or so, and had that all cooked up. And I actually decided to blend it up with my immersion blender, is that what it's called? Yeah, immersion blender. You can leave it like big chunks and stuff too, or blend it all the way through. I kind of did a mixture, so I blended up some so that it becomes thicker, and then I left some chunks of chicken and mushrooms as well too. I'll show you guys here my immersion blender. So that's what it looks like, and it's really easy to use. It has a little attachment to it, and you just can, here it is. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I got it, I don't remember how much it was, but this is the Koyos brand, and it works really nicely. You can also use it as with the attachment for smoothies too. So very versatile. And there is my delicious soup. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. I don't know how you can hate a video about food, but maybe you hate me. I don't know. Whatever. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll put that info below, simply Heba, and then also the link for the recipes that I got inspiration from. The third one I created myself, so I might put a couple instructions down there, or you guys can write in the comments and I will make sure to respond to you. Thank you guys again, and have a good day, evening, etc. See you guys next time. Bye.